The Granola Minimalist YouTube channel, broadcasting sustainable living from the comfort of my tent somewhere in the woods. Where in the woods am I? Where will I be next? Hi, I'm Shandra, the girl behind the Granola Minimalist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am taking you along with me to go somewhere in the woods. We'll find out tomorrow, but first I'm going to give you a little tour of my car that I'm going to be camping out of for this trip and all my future trips, so stay tuned. The tiny but mighty 2016 Ford Fiesta. It's got a navigation, which is crucial because I don't have a smartphone, but a pretty simple car otherwise. I originally wanted to camp inside the car, like lay the seats down and sleep inside the trunk, but my 5'3" stature is apparently too large to fit. But that's okay because I got myself a spacious pop-up tent instead. It gets an average of 32 miles per gallon, which is as good as you can get without a hybrid or an electric car. Getting good gas mileage is the least I can do when trying to live a sustainable lifestyle. So this is the map of the general area that me and my Fiesta are about to head to camp out, enjoy nature, record my first podcast, and record some footage for this YouTube video. I'm going to the Sequoia National Forest, which is about a 7-hour drive one way or about 400 miles. I found this campsite on recreation.gov when browsing for sites in Sequoia National Forest. Based on reading reviews and looking up where the campsite was in respect to me, I booked a site at the Wishon campground for under $40. Just an FYI, cancellations of sites is not free, so keep that in mind. What minimalist would I be without a budget? Minimalists live below their means, which means I need to be able to pay for my trips in cash. Keep it simple and realistic by planning your budget before you hit the road. For this weekend getaway, I have prepaid for the campsite, which was a little under $40. Have $60 set aside for gas, or about 900 miles worth, and $20 for food and gas station treats. This nature-filled retreat will only cost me $120 at most. So what do you know? Pulled over to get gas and it's like an oasis in the desert. There was seriously the most beautiful abundance of beautiful flowers at this random family farm slash gas station somewhere in California, and I was so grateful. Of course I had to take the opportunity to frolic amongst the flowers. What a sweet serendipity. Alright, so let's get back on the road. I will check in with you in a couple hours. I've just made it to the campsite. Beautiful drive in. Yeah, so now I'm just about to pick out a spot to put my tent. It's a fire pit, but no fires right now because of the fire restriction. A little log to sit on, and we've got, let's see, my car there, some picnic tables, and then this is where I'm gonna put my tent. But first, gotta break in the site with a happy dance. I got this 4-person pop-up tent on sale for $75. I'm a little skeptical about its quality because of the price, but so far it's been holding up well. Because it's just me this trip, I get the whole tent to myself. How fancy. For food, I brought a couple canned goods like these giant kidney beans in tomato sauce from Trader Joe's. I think I paid $1.99 per can and I got 2 cans of them. Because of the fire restriction to prevent wildfires, no campsite stoves or fires were allowed. But I didn't mind because it's just less gear to have to worry about. I decided it's time to venture out into the Sequoia National Forest that surrounds me. We have a river close by that is part of the Tule River watershed. Hi guys, let's do a quick tour of my tent today. So, this trip was a little spontaneous. I didn't have all the gear that I needed, so I had to kind of improvise. So, here we have my bed. It was so comfy, by the way, but it's actually a couple of like outdoor seating cushions, 3 of them pushed together, and then I used a little fitted sheet to hold them together. So that was effectively my air pad or my little mattress, and then I used this cute little blanket that I've had since my childhood. I'm super attached to it, and it was so warm and cozy last night. It was a little too hot for a sleeping bag, so I just used my sleeping bag liner inside of this, which was just like a little sheet and a little comforter, and I was so comfy. So there's my upcycled camp bed, pop-up table with all my technology, and my luggage. There was a lot of wildlife here, like these 2 squirrels that were either rapidly fighting or mating. I'm not really sure which. It's funny because the third squirrel is like not concerned at all. Hello, good morning. It is Thursday morning. I just camped out here in the Sequoia National Forest last night. We are at the Wishon campground. I would recommend it 10 out of 10. Definitely slept like a baby last night. But there are a lot of mosquitoes out this morning, a lot of bees, so I am about to record the podcast from the comfort of my tent. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. The equipment I'm using to film this podcast and YouTube channel is pretty simple. I got this USB headset from Best Buy for like $25 and a adapter so that I can plug it right into my iPad where I do all my recording. And I'm using a camcorder that I got used also at Best Buy, and that's how I'm doing all my filming. If you haven't already, please check out my corresponding podcast that goes with this video where you hear the podcast I broadcasted from the woods. You can find it almost anywhere you listen to podcasts, but definitely at Anchor and Spotify. You can find me at the Granola Minimalist podcast. Check out the first episode to get to know the Granola Minimalist, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated and find out where in the woods I will be next. So now it's time to fold up this pop-up tent. The directions are straightforward, but don't let them fool you. Always practice putting up and taking down your tent before you hit the woods. The first time I opened up this tent was in my living room in the middle of the night. One of those moments where it was like instant regret and I just couldn't stop it from happening. Like the tent just popped open. Somehow I managed not to break anything, but my boyfriend Jake was standing there and laughing at me as I struggled to fold it up, but was somehow successful. Alright guys, I just got down the windy little road from the campsite. So now I'm about to be on Highway 190 and I am going to head to see the 100 Giants. I guess it's like a big attraction here in the Sequoia forest. So I'm just going to drive along this really cute little mountain trail, or mountain highway, until I reach it. So I'll get to you in a minute. I didn't realize it, but this cute little mountain highway drives up and down a mountain range. So you basically drive up the mountain and along its ridges to the other side. If you're afraid of heights like me, just drive slow and keep it together. It was a sleepy highway, so I drove at the pace I was comfortable. Finally, I made it to my last destination, the Trail of 100 Giants here in the Sequoia National Forest. This stop was a recommendation from some Good Samaritans, and I'm so glad I checked it out. The camera does no justice for how big and how powerful these giant sequoias were, but I'll try anyways. I am really vibing the positivity that these little tree stumps are putting out. Another sweet serendipity. Hey, it's about 10 p.m. Just gotten home to Las Vegas. I'm so tired, but it was an amazing weekend. So happy I got to go and got to bring you along with me, and thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned. There'll be plenty more adventures ahead. Once again, don't forget to check out the corresponding podcast for this video called Get to Know the Granola Minimalist at the Granola Minimalist Podcast. You can find that at most podcasting browsers, but definitely at Anchor and Spotify. Also, check out my blog, thegranolaminimalist.com, where you can read about sustainable living and how minimalism go hand in hand. And follow me on Instagram, where I keep you informed on what's new. Thank you so much.